Hey everybody, welcome back to my Python 3 for Beginners tutorial series. In this video we're going to learn how to write files. So the first thing you need to do to write a file is assign a variable. So we're just going to call this one file. And then we're going to have to put what's called the open function. And that's going to want a name and what to do with it. I'll explain. So if I put test.txt, that's the name of the file. Now, this file does not exist. What this open means is basically it's saying open this into memory and then save it to the project here. Now, this right here is either a W or an R. The W means write, the R means read, so we'll just put a W. So basically this is saying, hey, here's test.txt, put that into memory. Oh, it doesn't exist, so write it to the project folder. Then what we can do is we can put file.write, and it needs to be a string, and we can put this is a line of text. Now remember, this is going to be in your computer memory. So to get it out of the memory, you need to do file.close. Now, where it says file here, this could be anything. You could name this hamburger if you wanted to, and then it would just be hamburger.write, hamburger.close. So it's whatever you want it to be. But the .write is important, the .close is important, and the open with the file name, and whether you're writing it or reading it, is important. So if I do that, now you'll see test.txt showed up here. And you'll see when I double click on it, it comes up and it says this is a line of text. Exactly what we put here. Now let me teach you something else while we're here. Let's say I wanted 2 lines of text. I can put \n, and what that means is new line. So if I do this, it normally wouldn't just write a new line, it would go in continuation of this line, even though I'm using 2 separate lines to write it. So this \n is telling it, okay, this is the end of this line. Go to the next line. So I'll say this is the next line of text. And if I play that, you'll see that it added that to the file. Now you'll notice it didn't add this again because it was already there. So it just added this one because that line didn't exist. Now, let me show you another cool feature that we can do here. Let's say we wanted to make a function that could handle receiving input and saving it into a file. What we could do is well, first let's do get input equals nothing. So basically we're creating this variable get input, and we're telling it doesn't equal anything currently, but it's going to be a string. That's why you need the quotes there. Then we're going to do, let's see, we'll do write file. And in here, it's going to take an argument. We're just going to call that name. And then in here, we're going to go file equals open, and then we're going to go name, and we're going to go W for write. And then we're going to go file.write get input. And we're going to do file.close. Now if we go down here, we're going to put print, please enter some text for the new file. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go text equals input. I'm sorry. We're going to get input equals input. And that's why we defined this variable right here. And that's going to be a string because we're going to be using it here to get the input. And then we're going to put write file. Now it needs to be a string for the file name, so we're going to put it here in quotes. We're going to put test2.txt. And when we run that, it's going to ask for some text. So we'll say this is a text file. We'll hit enter, and it says process finished, and now you see test2.txt right here, and when we click on that, there's the text that you just entered. So let me go over this again. We first define the variable getInput because, and we put just 2 double quotes here, and we're letting that know that, hey, this is a variable, it's going to be a string, but right now it doesn't equal anything. That has to be there. Then we create our function, writeFile. It's going to take an argument called name. You can make that whatever you want, but since it's the name of the file that we're putting in there, I felt name was appropriate. You could put file name, put whatever you want in there. So then we set up this variable, file equals, and then we use the open function again, but here we put name because whatever this is going to be what the file name is going to be. And then we told it we wanted to write the file by putting the W there. So then what we did was file.write getInput because I knew that this getInput was going to be what we used down here for the input. And then file.close to get out of memory. Then right here we just asked the user to please enter some text for the file, and then we use that getInput variable and set it up to get input from the user, and then we used our function. The function, remember, the name is going to be a string, so we put it in quotes, and we wanted to do that after we got the input because we told it here file.write getInput. So once this is done, getInput will be set to what we wanted the text to be, so now we can run the function and it'll work as it should. Alrighty, so that's how you write text, and it also shows you how to better use a function for something here where you can write text, and it shows a good use of functions that way. Alrighty, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.